Hey guys, how you going? Hope you're all doing very well. This evening I'm going to be doing a review of a thriller from Canada, English language, released in the year 2012, directed by Jeremy Power Reginbald, and this movie is called In Their Skin. And the story to In Their Skin is as follows. The Hugheses, a well-do married couple, retreat to an isolated cottage after the accidental death of their 6-year-old daughter. Removed from their upscale suburban life, they begin to take stock of the tragic events to have befallen them. After a welcoming by their neighbours, they host an evening in which one man's obsession and class envy soon boils over and eventuates into terrifying home invasion. As the menacing tension escalates and hatred explodes, one family will be forced into a situation of kill or be killed. No one will be the same again. So the main characters are the Hughes family. They are a young family that are going through a tragedy. There's a husband, wife, and a young son. They used to have a young daughter, but she was killed in a tragic accident. So this has forced them to relocate from the busy suburban lifestyle to a very secluded, remote lifestyle in a cottage. So they get to the cottage in hope to repair the relationships within the family and try and get some closure on this incident and try and move on with their lives. So before long, they're introduced to the Wachowski family. Now, I think it's Wachowski. I could be wrong. I'm just remembering off the top of my head, but it was something Polish. So the Wachowski family introduce themselves. They're very strange, but it just seems like they haven't had too much human contact because of the very secluded area. So for that reason, the Hughes family don't think anything wrong of them. Just a little bit weird, but friendly enough. So the Hughes family invite the Wachowski family over for a dinner party in order for a welcoming, and this is where they start to know a little bit more about each other. And this is where the Hughes family realise there is a lot more to the Wachowski family than they first thought, and the hidden secrets that the Wachowskis have are putting the lives of the Hughes family in great danger. So that's all I'm going to give you on the synopsis. If you want to know more, please go out there and see this film for yourself. Now, my thoughts on the movie. This was actually a pretty disappointing effort. Now, it's not a bad film, but it's a movie that has a brilliant first half and a really, really disappointing second half. Now, straight away, it's a very atmospheric film. It's a very lethargic, it's a very depressing feeling. Because this family is going through such a tragedy, I thought the director captured the mood perfectly. It was almost black and white. Yes, there were colours, but it felt like all the life out of the whole setting had been sucked out. And it was just draining, and it felt like everything was going in slow motion, that it was lethargic, and it's just the exact same feeling you get when you're depressed. So that's exactly what the Hughes family are going through. They're going through a tragedy, and the feeling of the film is that someone is going through a tragedy. So visually, it's a very striking film, and it's a very impressive film. I thought that there were some camera angles that were very reminiscent to Michael Haneke from Funny Games. I thought there was some very reminiscent of that, although he doesn't he doesn't blatantly rip it off. It's more like paying homage. It's like paying respect. And this is sort of like a Michael Haneke sort of film, in that it doesn't rely on overly, excessive use of music. It's not excessive use of violence. It's just that overwhelming sense that something really creepy is going to happen. And that is what keeps the first half of the film running at a very, very good pace. And, suspense-wise was very, very good. The Wachowskis are what makes the film, the weird family. You don't know what their motive is, but you know it's something really creepy because they come across as friendly enough, but it's one of those cases where, yes, you're friendly, but you're weird. You're really weird. And it sends a chill down your spine to actually realise that this family, yes, they're nice. Yes, the Hughes family are nice as well. And you can kind of forgive the Hughes family for thinking that the Wachowskis are friendly, because they are. But there's just this overwhelming sense that something is not right with this family. And for that, once again, it creates a lot of suspense. It's fear of the unknown. It's the anticipation for something really bad happening. And you don't know exactly when this really bad thing's happening, so that keeps you on the edge of your seat. The acting was very good. I thought Selma Blair, who played the wife, a lot of people say that Selma Blair has the same face, basically expressionless. Lacking any emotion in her efforts. I haven't seen enough of Selma Blair to really comment on that, but I will say that she does a great role in this one. She's very lethargic, very depressed. You can understand why she is being this cold. And then there's also a little bit of love still between the husband and wife. And that was something a little bit different too. In movies like this, it tends to be something that has happened that has split the husband and wife apart completely. Whereas in this one, it hasn't done that completely. There is still love between this couple. And you feel that, the tragedy has got in the way, and that there is still something there in order for hope. And that you hope that they can overcome their problems, but the threat of the Wachowski families basically threatens to destroy all of this. So the acting from the supporting cast, the Wachowskis especially, was fantastic, and atmospherically it was a brilliant film. The soundtrack was very, very subtle, not much of it at all. So as far as excessive value is concerned, nothing was excessive. So it was just very good, old-fashioned sort of Alfred Hitchcock suspense filmmaking. Now, the second half is where I have the real problem. When things go from bad to worse, this is where it feels like the director has lost patience. Kind of feels like the first half of the film, the director said, I'm going to build this up as well as I can, and I'm going to take my time. This is going to be a film that is not going to apply to anyone with low attention span. So I'm just going to take my time and build it up very, very slowly, like an Alfred Hitchcock movie. But then it kind of feels like when the crap hits the fan, it kind of feels like the director lost track of time during the first half. He looked at his watch and he thought, crap, I've only got a few minutes, I've got to end this really quickly. And so it feels like it's like a roller coaster, literally. You're going up slowly, and then all of a sudden you've just gone down, and it's over before you know it. And that's exactly what happens in this film. I thought the ending lacked a lot of patience. It lacked the motivation. It kind of felt like the director was in a hurry to finish it. And that was really, really disappointing because it was not what the film needed. The film needed a very it was a lot faster paced, yes, once, all the bad things start happening, but a little bit more time to these bad things would have been a hell of a lot better, because when it's over before you know it, you don't have enough time to digest what's happened and kind of think about it. And that's exactly what the first half of the film does. It makes you think, but then the second half lets you down because it feels like it's in a major hurry. And the ending was just a little bit of a cop-out, to be honest. It just completely changes the mood, and it just felt like the director didn't know what to do and that he was going to finish it as soon as possible. So that ruined the pacing of the film. It ruins the film completely, in my opinion, and for that I am not going to be rating this very highly. I still recommend it because atmospherically it's very good. It does feel like you're going through this sort of ordeal with this family, and when the bad things start happening, you want this family to really pull through. There are some themes that the film goes into that I'm not going to tell you because I don't want to give anything away, but it will make you think. And there is also a little bit of sympathy for the bad guys as well, because their sort of situation that they were facing was pretty sad. So it's a movie that is a little bit different, but unfortunately the second half was just rushed far too much. Therefore, it doesn't really leave a very satisfying taste for the viewer. So overall, I'm going to give this one 2.5 stars. I am recommending it because atmospherically it's very good, but just don't expect a masterpiece. Alright guys, that's my review. Hope you enjoyed it. Till next time, keep watching movies, and I'll see you later. Bye.